I love the theme of hope, like truly, because I think that what Balanced Home Apothecary offers is actually hope. It's products that people have not thought of.
Let's take a quick moment to thank the people that support and sponsor the podcast. When life takes an unexpected turn, you deserve someone who will stand beside you. St. Louis attorney Chris Dully offers experienced one-on-one legal defense. Call 314-384-4000 or 314-DUI-HELP, or you can visit dullylawfirm.com. That's DULLE lawfirm.com for a free consultation. Welcome to Hope Comes to Visit. I'm Danielle Elliott-Smith, and I'm so grateful you're here. This is a space for real stories and honest conversations, moments of reflection, resilience, and hopefully light. Whether you're navigating something hard or you're just looking for a soft place to land, I so hope today's conversation meets you exactly where you are. Today's conversation is one that I think so many of us need, especially if you've ever felt like taking care of yourself is just something that you put on your to-do list. I'm joined today by Rachel Urton, founder of Balanced Home Apothecary, a natural wellness brand she created for moms who want real ancestral support without the overwhelm of doing it all themselves. As a mom of four, Rachel brings together traditional Chinese medicine principles with a modern, grounded approach to wellness, helping families simplify how they care for themselves, ditch the toxins, and find small, meaningful ways to feel better, one rollerball at a time. What I love most about this conversation isn't just what she's built, it's how she thinks about care. Because this isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about creating support that actually fits into your life. We're going to talk about what it looks like to shift from overwhelm to simplicity, how to make wellness feel accessible instead of intimidating, and how small intentional choices can create real change over time. This is a conversation about care in the most human sense of the word. Rachel, thank you so much for being here and for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me, Danielle. I'm so excited.
I am so excited too. So it's fun to say. I want to start by saying how we met. So there is a local farmers market, and this is, people always ask, like, where do I find guests for the podcast? And I say everywhere in life, because I truly believe everyone has a story of hope that can inspire someone else. And I legitimately walked up to you at a farmer's market because I am always hopeful that I can find better ways to take care of myself. I have fibromyalgia and I'm in constant pain. And you had products that I thought, oh gosh, maybe this woman can help me. And then I fell into this rabbit hole learning about what it is you do and who you are and how you got there. So I'd love for you to start with telling us a little bit about you and where Balanced Home Apothecary originated.
So I think it's so funny that we met at the farmer's market too, by the way, because I love it there. It's such a genuine place to just connect with local people. And I love the theme of hope, like truly, because I think that what Balanced Home Apothecary offers is actually hope. It's products that people have not thought of. And that's actually what it was dreamed of. I dreamed out of. I started, I went to like an essential oil party, when MLMs were really big, and I fell in love with it. But what I noticed is that my friends could not deal with the DIY. They just could not. They didn't want to buy 20 bottles of, 40 something a dollar a piece, like I said, bottles.
Right. And then make citrus and lavender and if I use frankincense here and I mix it with these four things, and then that will help my knees. But then if I do these three things, it'll help my allergies. And then if I do,
which you can see just in that, like, Danielle, your knowledge of that, we're all moms trying to figure it out. And we're trying to figure out, like, why my 7-year-old is yelling at me. I don't think they have that time to make that product. And you have to make it safely, which is something super important. It has to be properly diluted, because you can't just pour, you know, 40 drops of clove into a roller ball, like you could burn your skin. And that idea is where Balanced Home Apothecary was born. I was going around St. Charles, dropping off stomach roller balls to my friends. And because I would be like, well, where's your roller ball? And they're like, I can't afford the membership and I don't have time. And that is really where it comes from, is like, we don't want to give our kids like the Pepto-Bismol. We don't want to give our kids this like stomach medicine. So we use our skin. And when it's ready to use, that just takes so much pressure and time off everybody. And for me, I loved it. Like besides being a mom, really found my passion in helping people find those natural remedies instead of like suffering through the little one's stomach ache, or you know what, even mine, even my stomach ache. So, I, in 2020, started the business. My friend was like, I think you need to do this. And I was like, I am not doing this.
This is why we love our friends, right? Our friends always see in us what is there that we can feel, but we're so afraid to acknowledge. And our friends push us because they know it's there and they know we can do it.
Yes, because they see, I always say, like, I wish we could see each other through each other's eyes. Like, because they don't see the lies and, you know, I always say, like, the onion layers, like, that I'm trying to protect of, like, you know, little Rachel. I think they see just, you know, my new favorite thing is the wild horses that just run. They see us through that lens where they don't see why anything would stop us because they see us for who we are. So when I started it, I had 2 kids and now I have 4 kids, and it's a nice, like the farmer's market is a nice mommy break for me on Saturday. So get out of the house because I'm a stay-at-home mom by day ish. I have to stop saying
how do you
that.
split your time then? How much time do you dedicate to the business and how much time are you dedicating at home?
Oh, that's a really great question. I would say the kids always come first. So they're 9, 7, 5, and 1.
Okay.
So we got to do a lot of running around. And I just try to get in an hour or 2 a day as best I can. And sometimes that's none because there's too many things going on. And sometimes that's, like today I was able to work on it a little bit this morning.
No, and the reason I asked that, it's funny because so I started in an entrepreneurial space when my kids were 3 and 1 and ended up co-authoring a book called Mom Incorporated, A Guide to Business and Baby. So like how to start a business while having a family, right? Because there are so many moms like you and I that are starting small, because generally speaking, and this was in the research of doing the book, we realized that a very small percentage of moms do the go big or go home and go after venture capital. Most of us start the way you have and just continue to grow. It starts as a passion project. It starts with this little thing inside us that says, I want to help. I want to love on people in some type of way. And that's what you've done. So I will tell you, so full disclosure again, right? Like I bought some of your products. So I'm going to have to put my glasses back on so that I can read them. So I know exactly which ones I bought. Okay. So I bought the natural magnesium, which is inflammation spray. And I bought natural magnesium hormone spray and relaxing spray and sleep spray. And I have not used the hormone spray yet. The other 3 I'm using the sleep spray every night and it's so good. And I've used the inflammation spray a ton. And for the fibromyalgia, and we had this conversation when we first met, I'm always afraid of spending a bunch of money on things and then thinking like, I hope this works. And then either using it sparingly or not using it enough. Well, it just so happens that my husband and I put a garden in the backyard this week, like a chaos garden. So there was lots of digging and planting and bending over and lifting. And anytime I abuse my body in any way, my fibromyalgia flares up excessively. And it says like, hey, you hurt me. I'm not a fan. And I am incredibly sore. And I thought, aha, I have inflammation spray. I shall use it. And I wasn't bad the next day. And I thought, oh, okay, I shall do this again. And so I did a little more work the next day and I used the spray again. And knowing my body the way I do, knowing that the only way I've ever been able to get myself out of something like that is with serious muscle relaxants or painkillers, and knowing that I used the spray and some Advil, oh my gosh, what type of voodoo magic are you putting in bottles?
My dad calls it voodoo. I'm like, you can call it whatever you want, as long as you use it.
Yeah, right? Well, I love that, they all say magnesium on it. And I do not have the training, the knowledge, the science back that you do. But I will say that about 2 years ago, my primary doctor said to me, if I can get you to do one thing, Danielle, is take magnesium. And so I take magnesium when I go to bed every night. And I know that has helped my sleep as well. What is it about magnesium that is a special piece of every formula?
So I first started with just essential oil roller balls. And then I hopped on, honestly, TikTok one time and went down my own rabbit hole for spraying magnesium on the skin. And I'm a stressed girly. I have, you hear you need magnesium morning, noon, and night. Well, some magnesium upsets your stomach. And I can take the stuff at night, no problem. But the rest of it, I can't because it just gives me such bad stomach ache. And so I went down this, I think I sat on it, I want to say 6 months, if not a year, I sat on this magnesium idea of taking the most powerful, it's literally called ancient magnesium, and mixing it with the powerhouse of essential oils. So we're using our skin. And for some reason, like, you're not the first one to say this. People are like, what have you done? I'm like, I don't, I just went with my gut. I think when you put frankincense, magnesium, peppermint, whatever it might be, when you put all those natural occurring things together, what it turns into is this synergistic blend that your body's like, I know what that is. That's like, and then the other weird thing is because we're using our skin, we don't have to go through our liver and we don't have to go through our stomach. And a lot of us have, like, I personally have I think it's called like non-alcoholic fatty liver or something like that. And so I don't love taking a bunch of supplements because I don't know what that's going to do to my liver. Okay. But what I do know is that I can spray, let's say, the inflammation spray on at any given time throughout the day, and I'm going to feel relief. And I just think, I don't know that that's like groundbreaking, other than the fact that people just don't know it. They don't know that your skin is your biggest organ and you can use it to get those molecules in your bloodstream within 10 seconds versus it going through your system internally, going through your liver, going through your stomach until it finally gets to where it needs to be. And that, I think, is what kind of separates it from, there's nothing wrong with taking things internally. Nothing wrong with it. To me, it's just like, I love the word hope because it's hitting something that I did not know for me was important, but it's giving an opportunity of something that you've not thought of.
Well, I think that there are so many people who live with some type of chronic condition, right? Mm-hmm. Or something that is not being served with traditional medicine. A while back, I had a naturopath doctor on, and she had written a book called Seen It Last. And it's a great episode if anyone wants to go back and seek out that episode, yes. Dr. Deb. And we talked about how long it takes women especially to be diagnosed with whatever is ailing them, and how frequently we are misdiagnosed. Because it's your hormones, it's anxiety, it's depression. As compared to really getting to the heart of the matter, which could be your heart. It could be something else. How frequently we're diagnosed with MS when we don't have MS. And I think that my goal now is trying to find ways to go a healthier, more natural route. I know that I take too much ibuprofen because I've been in muscle and joint pain for a really long time, and because I won't take heavy pain medications. I won't take pain medication that needs to be as a prescription. When I was first diagnosed with fibromyalgia, I was given prescriptions for Vicodin. And I reached a point in my early 20s where I could take it like Advil. And I thought, well, this isn't a good idea. And that was long before we had the opioid epidemic, long before we realized how bad all of that is for you. Something in my system said, this isn't good for you. And the funny thing is, I'm now allergic to Vicodin because my system just said, you've had too much of that. We don't like it. Right. Yeah. So I need alternative ways to combat pain. And so it is hope for me, right? Finding things that work, that help to reduce pain in my system, that help me to sleep better, that take away some of my anxiety and help me calm down. You know, I know one of the other ones that we were talking about that you were out of at the time that I was there was one, I think it was joy, right?
Joyful. Yes.
Because I want that extra little bit of energy. I know that at my age, being post-menopausal, sometimes I'm like, I'm so tired. I'm just so tired, Rachel, make it go away.
We can do that. We can definitely do that.
Right there, like I just got chills because there's hope in that. In you saying to me, we can do that, Danielle. We can help you with that. And there's so much hope in being able to say to our audience, there are natural ways that are not going to kill you financially to help you. And the very idea that you sat at home one day and said, I think I can help people naturally. And I feel passionate about this. What was it like for you when you realized that this was working, that people started to come back to you and say, hey, Rachel, I'm feeling like this is a little bit of magic?
It's funny. You saying that is like making me choke up because I'm like, I never, I'm very much head down person. Like I have to be in just every moment of my life because there's so many moving pieces. So it's like I almost don't even believe it. And I know that sounds crazy. I will say in March, I shared a reel and I was like, I almost quit my business this past month. Like it just felt like, Danielle, everything I was trying to do was like hitting a wall. Mm-hmm. And I was just trying to be open and honest. I didn't expect anything to come from that.
Right.
The comments that I got underneath that were like, we need you. You saved us. Those comments, I know I believe them. Okay, I know I believe them because they're, your customers turn into your friends and you have a relationship with them. So they're not going to lie to me. They're just not. And so I think I always think about, I have a teething roller ball for the little babies. I think about that. Even me, we're in the middle of the night, we need an answer. And I'm like, I know I can get that mom and that little baby relief from just a quick swipe of a roller ball across their jaw. So I would say it's kind of like when I stop to think about it, it could make me like a puddle of emotions because it's such a beautiful thing that I just don't really stop and think about because I'm just always, I need to do better about that. But
it sounds like you need, if you don't already, have testimonials on your website and on your Instagram, and that you need them out there for other people to see, right? And which brings me to another question, because you just hit on another group of people who need hope, which are moms, right? So like, obviously we're talking about some of the products that I use. So I'm telling people what products I use of yours. Who else uses your product? Like, who are these for?
So my like trickery, we'll say my voodoo, but not really voodoo, but is like I'll get moms with like the teething roller ball, or my kid has a chronic stomach ache, or my kid is feeling anxious. I'll get you with the kids blends, which are the roller balls. They're heavily diluted. They're super safe for kids, especially the teething one. Like that's going to be your 2 years and younger. That's like extra diluted.
Okay.
But my secret people are the moms and the women, because we don't take care of ourselves.
Right.
We just don't, because our hormones are trashed. And, I'm actually getting ready to go in and get tested for ADHD, which I don't have time to even think about, but it's just getting to a place where I need a little extra help. And I'm like, why am I overwhelmed all the time? Why do I feel like anybody bringing anything in is like hitting me in the face with a baseball bat when it's something new? So I say moms and women are who I have the biggest heart for, and how I love genuinely on those moms and any women is by loving and caring for their kids. So, if they're like Rachel, like I had a it's somebody that I've like grown up with around, and they brought their little 1-year-old to me on Saturday, and her eyes were just so swollen. And I was that kid. So I was like, okay, so we need to support her liver, because her liver is not detoxing those histamines. That's why her eyes are looking like this. And sure, there's like an allergic reaction to something outside, but that should go away pretty immediately. And so just the fact that I can share that knowledge with that mom, and the dad was there too, but that mom where she was like, I didn't even know that. I was like, I know.
Where does your knowledge base come from, Rachel?
Oh, me? I'm just me,
like,
and just not accepting it. That sounds so cocky.
No, not at all. No, not cocky at all. It actually sounds so incredibly humble. It sounds like me. I don't know. I love to learn.
Yes, that's exact. Really, I was the kid that grew up with migraines, and when I was a teen, I had ovarian cysts.
It sounds like you were kind of like me as a child. You had lots of things going on. You had migraines. You had lots of struggles that made you want to find a way to feel better.
Absolutely. I always joke, like, even at the farmer's market, we're in front of Bath and Body Works. And I'm like, but I was the kid who couldn't do that stuff. I had the eczema. I couldn't put the lotion on my skin. I couldn't I would just break out. I would look like literally Quasimodo. And even so much so, like, I'm allergic to SPF now. And that was like something that happened in my 20s, but there were always these pieces. The ovarian cyst. I actually have vasovagal syncope, which is, people either know or don't know, but you pass out, which sounds so dramatic. And I guess it is, but when you've passed out so many times, it just doesn't really, you're like, it's fine. Just give me some electrolytes. So I think I was always on this path. And I used to be really upset about it, but actually my business coach was like, but can you see how it's being used? And when I went to that first, it was like I said, it was one of the big MLM, it was doTERRA party. It was the first introduction I had gotten into anything natural. And by that point, I wasn't using anything Bath and Body Works, nothing with fragrance in it. I was still like, I had been on birth control for like 15 years. And knew that was bad, but what are you going to do? Like you said, you know these things, but you also have to live and breathe and survive. So that was my first introduction into this natural side of life. And how I knew it was a good fit was like, I smelled a lemon oil and I liked it. And I smelled a lavender oil and I liked it. It wasn't this fake fragrance that was going to give me a rash or a migraine or anything like that. It was very pure and very natural. And that I can see now where that was guiding me.
Right.
Like I can see. But that took me a long time to figure out, because I'm like, I mean, I jokingly say the reason I have my whole business is my period rollerball, because it took away my cramps. Like I would get the cramps with ovulation and menstruation, and it would put me down. And as long as I use it, that's what I always tell people. They're like, does it work? I'm like, if you use it, because it's therapy, right? You got to keep going. You got to keep building on it. But that one rollerball just really changed my life, because, you know, I was missing school or work or laying in bed, and it just fixed everything.
I think the other big difference too is when you talk about the MLMs, lots of people shied away from that because it required them to sell as well, right?
Yes.
And so while they wanted the help, they didn't want to have to sell other people on what it was they needed. And this is you saying, I have something that can help, and you're not required to pass it on to anyone else beyond whatever testimonial you want to give, if you feel like telling someone it works for you, right? And
Absolutely.
So no one feels like they're obligated, or that their testimonial is being used as a sales technique, right? They just get to say, oh my gosh, this works. Like by saying this was amazing for my inflammation, I get nothing for that, right? Like it's just, I just get to be genuine about it. I'm not trying to sell anything. I'm just saying I had a really good experience. And that's why it's so emotional for you, because you've really been able to help people, and finding out that you've done something good is hope fulfilling.
Hope fulfilling is absolutely right. It's with the MLM, like I'm always like, I'm not bashing them. I knew what I was getting into. It's nothing like that. It's just, it kind of had this stigma around it where you would say, well, I have an oil for that. And I still like cringily joke and say there is, because I think it makes sense. Like, it's just good marketing.
Right.
But they were like, no, I don't want to sign up. I'm like, no, I will just make you a roller. You don't have to sign up for anything. And I think that takes the power back of what essential oils can be and what they should be.
Maybe you could say I have a blend for that.
I should say blend. There was something I thought of the other day, and I can't remember what it was, but I was like, oh, that's really good.
But something other than an oil for that, right? Because it's something that can be specifically your own, because what you're doing actually does help. And if you're helping moms with teething babies, right? And with babies who have tummy troubles. And I mean, when you think about colicky things and just the struggles that new moms have with babies being uncomfortable, and then as moms, the stresses we feel, it's hopeful because it's helpful.
Absolutely. Yes, I like that. Like a blend. It's not just an oil, they're all blends. That's really good, Danielle.
Hey, thanks. I'm here to help. Rachel, how do you define hope?
Oh, man. How do I define hope? I feel like trusting in the unknown. Trusting that, my faith is very important to me. So trusting that the Lord is going to put something in front of me that maybe I don't know yet. And it's almost like a blind faith. But, you know, when I'm down and out and there's something going on, I feel like I've seen it over and over in my life, where if I just have hope that things will come as they should, it'll be okay. And almost like, man, isn't the word, it just like lightens it makes my shoulders go down. Like, it's almost like a reaction of like, I have hope that it's going to work out. And so I think that, I don't even know if that's defining the right way, but just knowing that I don't know everything, and and that will come to me naturally. I think that's how I would define hope, of like knowing that things are going to work out as they should or shouldn't. But also just nothing is concrete and ended. I think that's what hope means to me.
When you're talking to, I love that. When you're talking to potential new customers, has anyone brought up a condition that you were unaware of that has inspired you to basically head to your blending to see if you can find something that helps?
So many times there's been, fibromyalgia is a big one that people have. So that's a really good example of one where I felt like I'm like, okay, do I have blends that can help this? Or do I need to make something? So I think though, like kind of hacking my products, I will say one that has changed my life and a lot of people around me is looking at our children's nervous systems.
Okay.
Of, like, I don't know if you know that, I'm sure you do, you're a mom. You know that after school, like meltdown, where they're like, they've kept it together for so long.
And then they're just done.
Yes. And honestly, me too. So
it's like it's a witching hour.
It is. That does not end with just the newborns. That's like forever. So I had a friend, she was like, I just happened to use your adrenals rollerball on my, I think she was 5 at the time. And she is a deep feeler, and so am I. And my 7-year-old is that way too. And we just did a bunch of research together about balancing out kids' nervous systems. So I don't even know that it was like one thing or the other, but as I pieced these things together, the 4 p.m. meltdown, even the 4 a.m. wake up, the morning meltdown, whatever, this is all nervous system. And we talk about nervous system a lot for adults,
right,
but we never talk about it for kids.
Okay.
And so once I kind of hacked that with the adrenals and then actually the joyful magnesium spray, I think that is what my business coach has told me, not to go make new things, even though I want to make 5,000 new things. But almost like hacking what I do have, because essential oils, like in their individual properties, can do so many different things. Okay. So that's kind of my like one that I'm the most proud of in the last year, because it's helped so many kids. And I didn't have to create anything, even though I love to. I love creating too. I just love it.
I love your heart and your passion for everything you're doing and for the way it's helping. What sells best of everything you have? What have you found has been the most hopeful, helpful products that you have?
Hands down, the Hormones Magnesium Spray. Okay. We're women. I always joke. I'm like, they let us be women, but they didn't teach us anything about being women. So like we have the nights, the PMS is a great example. I can help. I genuinely think every single woman needs this, because it's so many ways we've not supported our hormones. And on top of it being the magnesium and the essential oils, I also put in organic wild neem in there. And so really that's kind of 4 ways, including like aromatherapy, that we've not used haven't tried to balance our hormones. And you talked earlier, you had something really important about like cost and expense. The organic wild neem is, if you go the natural way with hormone replacement therapy, you're paying $800 every 2 months to get those pellets. It's just, none of us can do it. And I mean, great for you if you can. More power to you. I can't. So, but we go back to the skin, because it's like from the first, like, I've actually used it on my daughter because she's 9 and she's kind of going into the hormonal stage. And I've just lightly kind of just wanted to support, if she's my daughter, she's going to have hormone issues. So I've kind of lightly started that. But then we have all, serotonin, dopamine, testosterone, estrogen, like all the way until we die, we have these hormones. And people are like, well, I don't have my ovaries, or I got a hysterectomy. And I'm like, it doesn't matter because you still have cortisol and dopamine. And it is made to love on every single hormone in your body and to try to balance it out based on what you need. And I've even heard of some guys using it, which I'm like,
how often do you use it?
Okay, I like it twice a day at least.
Okay.
And then what I say is if everybody around you is being crazy, just spray it on. Because it's not us. We're not crazy. They are crazy.
I love you. Can people order your products online?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay, so where can everyone find you?
BalancedHomeApothecary.com. And then I always say come laugh with us on Instagram because I try to be funny.
Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to share, Rachel?
Oh, I don't think so. You did such a good job. I feel like we covered everything.
Oh, you're wonderful. It has been so delightful having you on. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for the invite, Danielle. This was amazing. I love this.
Oh, it is so much fun. We clearly have so much more to talk about. I want everyone to head to your website, to Balanced Home Apothecary. And I'm so grateful, friends, for you spending time with us, sitting here and laughing with us and finding hope and health and all the good things with Rachel and I today. I hope that you will like this episode, that you will leave a review. It really is helpful. And that you will share this episode with anyone you think needs this type of healthy hope in their life. And until we spend time again together, please take very good care of you. Naturally, it's important to thank the people who support and sponsor the podcast. This episode is supported by Chris Dully, a trusted criminal defense attorney and friend of mine here in St. Louis, who believes in second chances and solid representation. Whether you're facing a DWI, felony, or traffic issue, Chris handles your case personally with clarity, compassion, and over 15 years of experience. When things feel uncertain, it helps to have someone steady in your corner. Call 314-384-4000 or 314-DUI-HELP, or you can visit dullylawfirm.com to schedule your free consultation.